Hey, what's going on? Chris Cervantez, eHomes, coming at you with the monthly market update for the city of Covina for July. So I'm very excited to share this information with you because there's some change in the air, and I really like it because I think it's very positive change. So let's jump into it because I have a lot of information. I want to keep this as short as possible. So Covina active inventory. As of today, we have 70 homes on the market. Compare that to last year, that's an increase of 42%. So that's fantastic news for buyers. We still have a very active market, so homes are still flying off the market, which I'll get to, but that's a great increase in available inventory. Pending inventory, pending properties, homes that are in escrow, we have 63 homes on the market. And then we have 43 homes that have closed escrow in the last month. So that's 43 homes sold, which represents a 24.5% decrease in the closed amount of properties here in the last, comparing this last 30 days compared to the last year's same amount of time, last 30 days. So what does that mean? That means there's definitely been a little bit of a slowdown. And I say slow down because if we look at the average days on market, so look at the average days on market this year versus last year. The average days on market, we're looking at 14 days this year versus, 17 days this year versus last year, it was 14 days. So it is not going from 14 days to 6 months. 14 days to 17 days, it's not a big deal. But what I wanted to highlight though was the amount of inventory. And then so I use this word absorption rate. That's a phrase, it's a metric. I would rather replace that with like the temperature of the market, because I think it's easy to say, like, is it hot or is it a cold market? And I think the temperature is easier to understand, is that with 1.6 of the absorption rate, that means there's 1.6 months of inventory on the market. That's still a hot market, okay? Which is going back to the average days on market. It's still hot. Is it as hot as it was last year? And the answer is no. The absorption rate last year in Covina was 0.75 versus 1.6. So do we see a tangible slowdown? Yes. Does it mean the sky is falling? No. So if you're a seller, you should still have confidence that the market is hot. If you're a buyer, there's a couple of more homes to choose from, but don't go in there thinking that you're going to slash the price, with 25% off the top, or you're going to ask for closing costs and stuff, because quite frankly, it's just not going to happen. You're probably still going to be looking at multiple offers. So I just want to educate you with the proper information so you know how to make an informed decision in Covina in today's market. Let's talk about the highest and lowest sale, and we'll get back to some other interesting metrics. Highest sale, 700 South Chaparro Road, Chaparro, in Covina Hills. So that's right off of Grand Avenue before you head down the hill, about to hit the 10 freeway. So and then again, this is a great example of how hot the market is. This is the highest sale in all of Covina in the last month. It was listed for $1.289. It sold in 9 days, and it didn't sell cash. The person, it looks like, according to the MLS, it sold with financing in place for $1.53. So it sold for $200,000 above the asking price, you guys. $200,000. Unfortunately, there weren't many pictures. I didn't see the house in person. From the satellite image, it looks like they did have a full court basketball court in the back, which is awesome, but there was nothing else there. No pool, no big grass area, just basketball court. So they must have been huge basketball fans to put that in there. It's 2,600 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, So the lowest sale was a condominium on Arrow Highway. It's between Citrus and Barranca on Arrow, 18701 East Arrow Highway, unit number 3. It was listed for $399,000, completely remodeled inside, new kitchen, new bathrooms, new floor. It was listed for $399, sold for $445. So they sold it for $45,000 more than the asking price in 7 days, and that was only a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath home. So, again, great example of the market is changing, but it's not changing like crazy bad. Really quick, I think a couple other things to note. According to the MLS in Covina, year over year, prices have gone up 9.9%. I did some other research and I found 12.4%. So we'll say between 9.9 to 12.4. That's about 10% year over year. In other videos, like I've said, I expect that to go down here in the next 12 months, but still stay in the positive range. And interest rates, something that I haven't talked about in previous videos, but I think it's a relevant thing to point out. We've seen interest rates actually get a little bit better here in the last couple of weeks. According to Freddie Mac, they peaked in June, on June 23rd. They peaked at 5.8% for a 30-year fixed. Now we're about 5.3%. Been doing a lot of research here in the last week. It's fully expected that the rates are going to be continuing to go up to still try and grapple with inflation. I would not be surprised if we see rates hit the high 6s, maybe even the low 7s in the upcoming year and a half. It just depends on how quickly this inflation thing is able to be controlled. But again, if you're a buyer, depending on which headlines you read, don't believe everything you read because a lot of it's baloney. But any questions, I can keep on rambling, but if you have any questions about your situation or you'd like to talk about what this means, all this data means for your home that you're thinking about selling, reach out. I'll give you the straightforward information and my honest opinion. All my contact information is below. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good one.